Hello everyone, this is Alex Koloskov from Photigy.com, and today, as promised, I'm going to test different Canon lenses on this Sony a7R-II Mark II camera, 42 megapixel newcomer to mirrorless world. And I'm going to test them using two adapters, okay? One Metabones for EF to E mount, meaning for Canon to Sony E mount. This is the latest version of Metabones Mark IV, I think, and $400, okay? $400 for this one. And very similar looking Photigy Pro EF to NEX Auto mount. This is what I was trying to use before, and with previous Sony a7R-II camera, Mark II, but not R. And if you can check my previous video where I was comparing this Photigy Pro to previous version of Metabones on Sony a7, it was no difference in terms of how bad both adapters were after focusing Canon lenses. So I returned Metabones and kept Photigy, okay? And today it may be a different situation because we got a different camera, okay? And of course I know the answer, but I want to show you how it works in real time. We have a live video from the camera, so you'll see yourself, you hear the beeps of focus or not focus, and how it's picking up faces, you know, the focus on the faces and things like this, okay? So first of all, this is native Sony lens, okay? To be a little bit good for Canon, because I love Canon, I was with Canon for a long time, I pick macro lens, and this is actually macro lens, 30 millimeters macro lens for crop sensor, but it doesn't matter. It focuses really well with this camera, okay? Maybe not as fast as the best Sony lens, but come on, guys, we're testing Canon, and let's be good to them, because this guy may be too fast. So anyway, see how it looks like. This is native lens, okay? You see that it tracks faces, it searches for focus because it's macro lens, so sometimes it's really long, and okay, it's gonna come into the focus. Okay, this is macro again. Macro, okay. Camera selects the focusing point. I'm not kind of helping the camera to do it. Let's see how it will pick up the face. Awesome. There is eye after focus, where it focuses on eye, but those faces too far away. And as you can see, it can only register one face. Other face, it's too hard for it because it's not really face, but crazy mask. So this is Sony. Let's test it first with Photigy adapter, okay? $100, really not expensive, Photigy Pro adapter. And let's pick up one of my favorite Canon lenses, okay? 70 to 100 millimeters. This is not version 2, this is a previous version, but let's see. Let's turn off the camera, then turn it on. Okay, just to make sure that adapter kind of adapted to the to the camera. And let's see. Okay, this is, well, that's probably too close. Let's focus on this guy. So it focused relatively well, right? What about this face? Yeah, it's not recognizing face, but you see how fast it is. Let me choose 200 millimeters, and boom, this is where we start seeing first problem. Exactly on 200 millimeters, it cannot focus. You see, it's searching for focus, but it can't find it. If I move it slightly away from 200, almost like 190, same thing. Let me move it away. Okay. No, not really. Yeah, better. If I move to, let's say, 140 millimeters, okay, it's better. Really, really better. Yeah, a little bit searching. Not as fast, but still. And if I turn to 70 millimeters, this is where it's really fast. Because, of course, the movement for the focusing mechanism for 70 millimeters is less than for 200. So less movement, faster focus. And as you can see, it still tracks faces even with this lens. So this is photodiox, okay? Let's switch this and try with the same lens. Let's try Metabones. The difference between this and Metabones, between photodiox and Metabones, $400, okay? Plus, I can also tell you that inside Metabones, this latest Metabones, they covered it with matte finish, so it produces less flare. I was using Metabones with Canon lenses for a few days already, and I didn't see any increase on flare, even shooting against sun and you know, such kind of hard lighting situation for the lens. With photodiox, it was, yes, it was, especially for lenses like 50mm 1.8 or 1.4, it was much more flare compared to same lens on Canon camera. So Metabones, well, when used with photodiox, okay, photodiox gets flare because it's really glossy internals. Metabones is matte and it's really cool, it's not producing flare. So let's mount. It's really, oh man, it's really tight. Okay, so here we go. Let's start from 70 millimeters. A little bit of hunting for focus, but still really good, right? This is 17. This is 100 millimeters, really fast. Everything is really, really fast, but not always. Okay. So 100 millimeters, not as easy as it's supposed to be. 135 millimeters. It looks like it's better at 175. No, this is too close. Well, it's not too close. It's supposed to be okay. Because if I, well, there is no magnification in this mode, I can switch to manual focus and magnify it. Yeah, it can't focus. What about this? Can you focus? No, you can't focus. Let me turn it off and on. Maybe that's the issue, because we didn't reset it. There is lots of internal logic in Metabones. Let's do this. No, not really. So on far away distances, up to 200 millimeters, up to, let's say, 190, it's okay, like this. When I turn to 200 millimeters, same issue, no focus. It cannot get focus when it's on full zoom. A little bit away from 200 millimeters, it's still hunting for the focus. Well, this is about 150 millimeters. Really cool, works. You see, it works. Mostly it works. So this is Metabones. I don't know how about you, but I didn't see a big difference between Metabones and photodiox, except that flare. But focusing performance is not the best part. So let's turn the camera off and let's switch lenses. Let's see some different lenses. I have a feeling that lenses with longer focal lengths will be not easy deal for this adapter. and lenses with shorter focal length, wider lenses, wider angle lens should work better. Okay, this is 100 millimeters f2.8 ISL macro lens. Turning on the camera and let's see. This is macro. It was on manual. Let's turn focus stabilization. Well, IS on. Okay, scanning a full range, but cannot set a focus. So sorry guys, it's not gonna work. When I help it, you see it works. When I kind of help it with manual focusing, pre-focusing, I would say. Not really, okay? This is not really usable as an autofocus. Yeah, probably no. Macro lens, well, in any case, macro lens is good when used on manual focus. So what about, let's say, 35mm f2.0 from Canon? It was one of my coolest lenses that I used outside. It has stabilizer and it's not expensive lens and it's really cool lens. Okay, so let's see. It was fast. It was fast. Like I told you, that was fast. Okay, except now, what is going on? Poor lens. It needs some help with autofocusing. And I can tell you that yes, I do have face detection on. You see face detection IF. Turn it on. Let's try maybe contrast. Maybe it will be a different deal. No, it's getting worse, right? Getting worse with contrast detection. And I don't think there is a reason to switch to contrast from face detection. Face detection should work way better, right? You see, it works way better. So, this lens works pretty well with Metabones. What about photodiox? I have a feeling that it should be the same because it's a camera. It's probably the camera that really cool Sony. Okay, this is his photodiox $100 adapter. I don't see big difference. I don't see big difference. Very fast. In most cases, but it always can fail. Same as Metabones, actually. It was an issue with Metabones before. So let's stick with Metabones for now, because in any case, Metabones gives you much better picture in terms of flare. So we're not going to continue using photodiox because we kind of accepted that autofocus performance is the same or almost the same with Metabones, but because of internals it gives some flare. So what other lens that I really enjoyed with Metabones on this new Sony? That was this Canon 15mm Fisheye. Yes, it should be on the place. So this is perfect. This just wide angle lens. You can see that. Come on, it works. Sometimes, most of the time. Okay, most of the time. Okay, most of the time it works, and it works really well. So what else we can test? What other lens we have here to test? What about, oops, Canon 24-70 millimeters. Okay, turning on the camera. Every time I'm turning off the camera. And let's try start with 24 millimeters. Boom. Fast, nice, and precise. This is 50 millimeters. Okay, now camera starts seeing the face, which is really good. This is 70 millimeters. You see, 70 is fine. Hello? No autofocus. No autofocus. So it looks like when it's lost, sometimes it's just, well, getting lost. And it may be a good idea to help it with hands, and then boom, it starts working again. So it's kind of okay. Again, any of this lens completely fine to be used when you're shooting landscapes. But when it comes to people or moving subject, you know, animals, of course, where, well, autofocus is really needed in those situations. And this is where it may not really work well. But again, any lens that is not long, not 200 millimeters, works pretty nice. What about old Canon 50 millimeters 1.4? Does it work? Turn it off, turn it on. No, it's not working. I read that it should be some kind of logic how we are attaching the lens to Metabones. Maybe we need to turn off the camera, then turn it on, then Metabones initialize, then we are touching the lens. Maybe this is how it should be. No, I don't see any way to make it work. It's not really working well, unfortunately. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, we got most of the lenses, and you've seen how it worked or how it's not working. Again, this is native Sony lens, and of course it's really fast. Even it's old macro lens, and I can tell you that 70 to 100 millimeters G lens for Sony works even faster. Okay, this is it. It was my what's supposed to be short review, but well, I showed you as much as possible of Metabones and photodiodes adapters for Sony for Canon EF lenses. And well, you've seen everything. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to post more reviews with Sony, and actually I'm thinking to maybe run some kind of workshop to show you how to work with mirrorless in studio with strobe lights. Meanwhile, you can check courses that we have on Photigy if you're looking for studio photography education, anything that related to still life work, commercial work in studio, jewelry product, splash liquids, all kind of photography. We have courses and even CGI now for photographers, all on Photigy, so check them out. Already, that was Alex Koloskov. Bye.